This is FNN, where you get facts, not nonsense. Okay, so our storyline for today, the Arizona legislature denied to vote on a motion to repeal the 1864 abortion ban that was reinstated controversially by courts last week. It was all procedural motion. The reinstatement of this law from over 150 years ago has faced opponents from both sides, including Democratic Governor Katie Hobbs, expectedly, but on the other side, Donald Trump and staunch Trump ally Carrie Lake, a Trump ally. And repealing the law would revert Arizona back to a 15-week abortion ban passed by former Governor Doug Ducey and the Arizona legislature 2 years ago after Dobbs v. Jackson Women's Health Organization. House Speaker Ben Toma, a Republican, said as he blocked the vote to introduce a motion to repeal, said, "The last thing we should be doing today is rushing a bill through the legislative process to repeal a law that has been enacted and reaffirmed by the legislature several times." This comes as Arizona Republicans hold very narrow majorities in legislature, 16 to 14 in the Senate and 31 to 29 in the House. And election 2024, once again, another state preview. This time we've got Ohio. So you can see my election map. Now we're going to start to move into the sort of closer states. And, it's still close. Still plenty of toss-up states, but I got Ohio leaning red. And Ohio's definitely shifted to the right. I stand by my belief that polls will shift to the left. But it's been pretty staunchly Trump, and, my predictions agree with that. If the election was today, Trump would probably win for me by 6 or 7 points. But the down ballot races is what we're really focusing on because A, those are important. They can be influenced by the election. B, they're probably going to help decide to control the Senate. We got Republican businessman Bernie Moreno and U.S. Senator for almost 30 years now, Sherrod Brown, Democrat. And Brown's leading in 3 polls taken right after Moreno was elected in the primary. Brown's a pretty staunch liberal, pro-worker guy, real Ohioan. That's what he's campaigning on. Moreno is a Trump-endorsed Republican, continuing, I feel like, the Republican trend this year, kind of nominating outsider, not insider politicians. Yeah, Republicans have found a really good way to attack on that. Meanwhile, our news for April 17th, Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, has scheduled a weekend vote on foreign aid bills that might cost him his job. So they've kind of redone the foreign aid bills. It's all separate bills now. So it's $60 million for Ukraine, $26 million for humanitarian, and as well as just normal aid to Israel, and $8 million for Taiwan and the rest of the Indo-Pacific. He also announced a border security bill catering to the requests of ultra-conservatives who said they would not vote unless there was a border element into this. Meanwhile, after Mike Johnson sent articles of impeachment to Chuck Schumer over Alejandro Mayorkas, those motions failed along party lines today, 51 to 48 to 1, as Senator Murkowski voted present on the first one due to her dissatisfaction of the trial, and 51 to 49 on the second one, and that's no's to yeses to hold the trial. And the stocks continued their slip. Dow was down 45.66 or 1/8%. NASDAQ was down over 1.1%, 181.88. The S&P was down about 0.75% or 29.20. And finally, the weather, once again, pretty average day. Can't say much really more about it. There's a bit of a cold stretch that's kind of going to move across. It's going to be very cold tomorrow up north, I guess, for a time of year. We could see 10 degrees below average. Meanwhile, very warm in places like Jacksonville down in the southwest. Phoenix, which, as we know, broke 120-something straight days last year, is going to be 94 tomorrow. Meanwhile, thunderstorm forecast. 16 tornadoes struck the Great Plains last night in really what was a catastrophic weather event. That threat still continues for a lot of the Rust Belt, upper Midwest. So think Ohio, and then kind of a threat in Kansas and really Kansas City, the metro area over there. This has been FNN, where we get facts, not nonsense. Thanks for watching.